When it comes to living a balanced, nutritious life, it can sometimes be difficult, especially when it comes to convenience. But one local business is now making a little easier as a one-stop shop for nutrition. KHQA's Kalil is live this morning at Grown and Gathered in Quincy to show us what health benefits come with eating clean. Good morning to you, Lauren.
Good morning, Chad. Well, you may be familiar with the phrase, you are what you eat. And while that may not be literally true, it is true in the sense of how your body's going to feel. And while sometimes it is difficult to kind of change your lifestyle, one local business is making that easier.
There's several benefits behind eating local, eating whole foods.
Grown and Gathered is a new local business here in Quincy, and they are trying to help you get on the right track to a nutritious life.
We make it easy. We do all the research ahead of time on which products, which brands are whole foods, whole food based. We know exactly where it's coming from. We know that it's chemical free, and we know that it's good for you.
Wilkerson says all local produce comes first in her shop, and if they can't find it locally, they source organically. But when it comes to making a lifestyle change and trying to not always think convenience, but rather healthy, it's not always easy.
Our food is fuel, and a lot of times we think of food as just as enjoyment, but our body actually needs good nutrition to not only just live a healthy life, but just day-to-day energy too.
Meyer says when choosing what foods to put into our bodies, look for the ones that have less ingredients. And while social media and technology are a great source of information, she says always make sure it's approved by a registered dietitian. But when it comes to choosing these healthier foods, Wilkinson says the biggest challenge is convincing people these foods do have flavor. And once they do taste them, she says they're hooked.
And then they start to feel better. They see the differences in their energy change. They see the differences in that they may not get sick as much. And then they start to understand the true benefits of eating whole and healthy.
Now I am live here in the business with Michelle, the owner. Now we have a basket here. Can you kind of explain exactly what this is?
Yeah, sure. This is the Gatherer's Basket. So it's a weekly pickup of different things. So we do different options, one being a produce-only basket, meaning that we'll only put in fresh produce. Local will always take priority. The second option would be that same produce, but we add a pound of grains and a local dozen eggs. And then the third option rather would be the local ground turkey and the local ground beef on top of that. So 3 different options, something for everybody really.
So maybe if I don't like bananas or I don't like onions, do you guys do substitutes?
Yeah, absolutely. We work around all allergies. We work around all taste preference. It's small business, wonderful, and local so that we can work with anybody on anything that they prefer.
How much does a basket like this cost?
The produce only is $18 a week. Pickup is on Mondays. With the eggs and the grains, it goes up into $25 a week, and then with the meats, 2 pounds of ground beef, turkey, or pork will go up to $40.
Now, let's talk about sugars, because a lot of people, it's hard to cut that out. So how can you if you're trying to be more nutritious?
So many people that are sugar addicts that don't even know that they're sugar addicts. And as we just discussed, we have a selection here of condiments that sugars hide in all foods. And so to find the foods and the brands that don't have the sugars hidden in will help start to change the taste buds. So for instance, as we were saying, the ketchup, the mayo, the mustard, these are all sugarless. The mayo just has less than 2% of either sugar and or salt. All the rest of it is very whole food, is non-GMO, project verified as well. The ketchup, it's sugarless, and coming from a ketchup connoisseur, it is extremely palatable and doesn't require much change in taste buds. Going over to, say, chips, potato chips. Everybody loves to have potato chips. Children like them as well. The ingredient list on this, extremely simple: potatoes, avocado oil, and sea salt. So no need to have a paragraph of ingredients, but just simple ingredients. Less is more when it comes to ingredients, especially on packaged food. Honey. So if you need to have sugar, go directly to the source. So this is raw honey, amazing for allergies and different medical challenges where processed sugar is not really advised. And then the maple syrup. So pure maple syrup, and if it doesn't have the SYRUP and it has the SI in syrup means that it came directly from the trees. And so it's very little processing, just to boil at 219 degrees. And this is it.
Yeah. Can you tell me what kind of smoothies are we making today?
This morning we're making spinach, kale, apple, and pear. along with a few others. So you take a few leaves of spinach, a few leaves of kale, put it on an apple, a pear. That is going to help cut the tartness of any of the greens. Mix that up with some ice, and then we've already pre-mixed it here. So this is what you get. The color is a little bit, for some, frightening, but the taste is actually more like an apple or a pear. So it's an easy way to get your greens down without actually eating a salad.
So even though you have some kale in there, you have some greens in there, it's going to taste more sweet, you think?
Yes, absolutely. We'll do a taste test here.
Okay. So this could be a great way to get maybe little kids to get their vegetables in?
It is a brilliant way to get little kids into the vegetables. They have absolutely no idea that they're eating it. They like to drink it out of a straw. So the way that we serve it here at Grown and Gathered is out of a cup, and get a big green straw in it. Kids take it down in a heartbeat, and they think it's absolutely delicious.
All right, let's see what it tastes like. Oh yeah, I definitely taste more pear than anything else. It's just a less sweet version of
the
pear.
more strong nutrient will take the color. So because kale and spinach have the more nutrients than the apples and the pears, it'll take over the color of the entire smoothie.
So in one day, about how many sizes does one of these smoothies get for your vegetables and fruit a day?
It depends. I mean, on this one, for a single serving, we put in about 3 leaves of spinach, 2 leaves of kale, about a quarter of an apple and a quarter of a pear. So it's a good amount. It's a good amount for the afternoon pickup that you may need. So you could do 1 or 2 a day.